Hello, beautiful people. How are you all today? Welcome to a love webinar. I'm just looking for some lovely things to put on here. Let me know when you're joined, my lovelies. Welcome to JD. Oh, here we are. Okay. You know me in technology, guys. Welcome to Find Real Love Now. That's it. We're good to go. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. You're very, very, very welcome. I see some beautiful people on here. Nando, good morning to you, my beautiful friend, all the way from lovely Florida. I hope you're well, darling. I hope to see you soon. Hello, Karen Fleming. Hello, Fiona Louise. I've got a great video from Fiona Louise that I'm going to share with people. It's spectacular. Hello, Anne Proven. Oh, hello, Jane Dawson. I love my own jokes. Hello, Margaret Beattie. Lovely to see you. We're going to talk today about finding real love now. And as ever, I'm going to be connecting with those in the non-physical realms who love and support us. And I'm going to be blending with your energies. I'm going to be talking to you about some simple spiritual principles, and I'm going to be tapping into my own practical experience of love, relationships, dating. Hello, Martin. He says, hello, darling Jane. Hello, darling Martin. Hello, Miss Janie McGee. Lovely to see you. So I'm doing this free webinar today, and it's called Find Real Love Now. And I know some of you are single on here. I don't know if you're all single, but if you have a relationship and you're finding that a bit challenging, you can definitely apply the principles and your needs will definitely be covered by the universe while we speak. Hello, Isabel Flores, my beautiful friend. Hello, Miss Dixie Keane. It's your first time here. You are very welcome, Dixie. I'm getting off the topic, but there's a lot of fairies around you. Back on topic, Jane. People that join me regularly know that when I'm doing this work, when I'm connected with the non-physical realms, which is basically pretty much all the time, they take my attention to various places. But today I'm going to focus on helping you guys to find real love now. And I want to start by telling you my story. And I know that some of you are going to relate to this, so please give me your comments. And hello, everyone else who's just come on. I'm so sorry I can't say a personal hello to everyone, but you know I love you all and sending to you all. So let's get started. Jane Dawson was born at an early age. Thank you, Billy Connolly, for that old joke. But anyway, I was the first of 4 children. My mum and dad had been married 8 years. And they had no kids, and so I was the first child to them and the first grandchild to both sets of parents. So you can only imagine how special and how adored I must have been as a child and a toddler. And then 16 months later, my sister was born, and she had problems with her lungs and she had problems with her eyes. And I'm quite sure I must have become the big sister. And so from being the sort of light of everyone's life, that focus shifted to my younger sister, who was a little bit sickly. And I guess baby was put in the corner. This baby was put in the corner. So about another year later, my brothers were born. They were identical twins. So then my mother had 4 children under the age of 3. So you can imagine how I felt then. And hello to everyone that's joined. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry I can't say a personal hello. I'm just recapping my story. We're talking about Find Real Love Now. So I'm just giving you a bit of background to my love journey, which I know that some of you will identify with. So was this adored baby. Along came the siblings, and I was well and truly the big sister. And I remember at times trying to get my mother's attention, and I could see how much it irritated her, because I'm sure she would just sit down and then I would come over, and I remember her being quite short with me. And I don't blame my mother from my perspective now as a mother. A grandmother, yes, a grandmother. I'm blessed to be a grandmother, actually. And so what that did for me, that made me think that I wasn't important. That made me think that I wasn't loved. That made me think that I wasn't cherished. That made me think that nothing I had to say was valued. So basically, it really made the baby me feel really bad about myself. And this continues through life. And when, you know, I'm a strong character, a strong personality, and obviously my mother tried to control me. And the way that she did that was through harsh words and sometimes violence. It's unacceptable now, but that's what happened all those years ago. I was going to say 100 years ago, but no, it wasn't quite that. It feels it sometimes. Hello to everyone that's just joined. So what happened then? By the time I was a teenager, I moved. My parents moved us from a very posh area of Glasgow to a very working class area of Ayrshire. And, you know, we were ridiculed. I was definitely ridiculed. My mother made me wear very sensible shoes, and I had NHS glasses, and she wouldn't let me wear a bra. God love you, mother. She's passed over now. But her and I had a challenging life together until she passed, and then I understood why she tried to control me all her life. I'll come back to that. So anyway, when you don't have self-love, when you don't have self-esteem, when you think basically you're shit, you can't do anything, you're so unattractive, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're stupid, you don't contribute to this world. You know, this was all the terrible feelings I had about myself for many, many decades. And that really affects your life. And it really affects all your life choices. And it really, really affects your relationships. Because when you feel shit about yourself, when you are deep in self-loathing, which I was for many decades, and I just want to cuddle my younger self, because my younger self suffered a lot. However, I'm not suffering now, as you can see. Many of you will know I had a spiritual awakening when my father, who'd only died 3 months previously, turned up at my son's birth. And that changed everything for me. That was the start of my spiritual journey. That was the start of me being able to translate the universe's energy or communicate with the spirit, however you want to call it. But it was, and it also showed me real love, and that real love is eternal, and it's pure, and it's blissful, and it's beautiful. But alongside this, I went on a journey of self-healing and self-love, which was not instantaneous. In fact, it's only in recent years I can say that I've really attained that state. And for you, and I know it's so important in relationships to find this. Lovely comments from you people. Love you all. I'm sorry I can't say hello to everyone. Just to recap, we're talking about how to find great love or real love now. I'm just telling the story of my previously disastrous love life and relationships, and how I got to that stage, basically because I had no self-love for myself. I was deep in self-loathing, which is sad, but so many of us are like that, and I really want to help you to heal that. So I got involved with all unsuitable men. The minute a man would look at me, I felt so flattered and so grateful, because I really thought I was so unattractive. And this is true. I thought I was the ugliest woman ever to walk God's earth, the ugliest girl as well. It actually is heartbreaking thinking of myself in those younger times and how awful I felt. And when I started to bring my spiritual self forward and realised that I was love, everything changed, because previous my relationships had been with addicts, alcoholics, gamblers, married men. Yes, I'm ashamed to say. But then ashamed is a tricky word because we don't want anybody to feel shame. I know that now as well. That is a hopeless, pointless emotion. However, I made all the wrong choices. A man would look at me and I'd go, hell yes, because I had no self-love and no self-esteem. So once that started to grow, and as I say, this is in recent years, I found that actually men have started telling me how attractive I am. I found out I've dated men all over the world, and I found out actually men have told me that I'm beautiful. Men have commented on my body, how great my body is, and that's always been a big issue with me. And you know, and now that I've found these real love relationships, and they are something else. They are something else, and that is what I want you guys to have, and that is why I've come on here today. And as I say, it doesn't matter whether you're single or you're in a relationship and you're struggling a little bit. This is for this. The same stuff will help you. Please put your comments. I can see some of your comments and they're lovely. Anne's talking about ghosts, but really we're talking about love today. So we're talking about self-love and how to find real love now. And it doesn't matter whether it's lockdown or not, because love is all about energy, and it's easy to attract energy when you focus, when you have intentions. But number one step in finding great love is to find that love for yourself. So to heal that self-loathing, if you're as bad as I was, or to start liking yourself, or start loving yourself. These things are so important, and they are not anything to do with being big-headed. They are to do with the knowingness that you are this wonderful spiritual being, that you are love. And sometimes I like to imagine a huge golden energy just spiraling through the middle of my body, and that's like the loving center of me, the spirit center of me. And people can know the difference in your energy when you feel this, when you're in touch with your spiritual self, when you're in touch with the with that loving, glowing part of you. People will say that you glow. People often tell me that I glow when I'm on here, or sometimes when I'm talking to people or giving consultations to people. And the same thing will happen to you when you are in touch with yourself, and when you're blended with all the loving powers of the universe, you glow. It's amazing how your energy changes. It's like someone switches a light on, and that is so attractive to others. So finding real love now is nothing to do with your age, your sex, your size, your intelligence, or any of these self-beliefs, negative self-beliefs that you have, or any negative self-talk that you have about yourself. So, as I say, the first thing you have to do is to start really loving and appreciating yourself. Hello, Heather Murray, lovely to see you. Hello, Sandra. Hello, everyone who is joining me. Sorry, I can not respond to all your hellos and questions today, but please, if you have questions or comments, put them up. I'm keeping my eye on it. Marie says that she totally agrees. What I'm saying here is actual fact. So my upbringing, how I learned to self-loathe myself, to really hate myself, was my perception. And I realise that now. And once you know that your perception is not the truth, you can really let these things go. And that's massively healing. Okay, so number one thing, find self-love. How do you do that? Well, I highly recommend that you get a pen and a piece of paper and you write down all the things that you like, stroke, love about yourself. Now, as I say, when I am working with you people who are listening, my audience, my community, and it's not just now, if someone taps into this or watches this later, we're still covering you. The universe tailors what I'm saying in the content I'm giving, especially for you. And I know when I say write down the things that you love about yourself, that many of you are going to find that challenging in itself. So write down the things that you know are your good points. Let me put it that way. So I'm kind, I'm generous, I'm loving, I'm quiet. Now, this is interesting because I was going to say I'm quiet and I'm shy, and I'm not those things, although I used to be really, really shy. But my confidence has come because I forced myself, because I wanted to do mediumship and connect with the non-physical and help and uplift people here. I forced myself completely out of my comfort zone. So I know there's several of you saying, oh God, I'm too quiet and too shy to do this. And this is why I'm bringing these words forward. So quiet and shy are not negative things. They just are things. So if you're writing this list of your good points and you start coming down to things like that, start another list that says areas that I need to work on. And you can put my shyness or I'm too quiet, whatever it is there. But also remember that the right person for you will love those things about you. They will really love and cherish those things about you. So let's be very balanced about this view of ourselves. And if you find you can only find 2 or 3 positive things to write about yourself, then you know you have an issue with self-love right there. The best thing to do is speak to a friend or someone that knows you well and say, can you tell me my positive attributes? Because so often we don't see them in ourselves. I was speaking to a beautiful lady the day before yesterday, and we had met at we'd met in Hawaii at a writers' conference with Dr. Wayne Dyer, and she was telling me that I made such an impression on her. I stood up and asked a question, and she said my conference was incredible, and she wanted to be just like me. And of course, my perspective of that conference was that I was stuttering and stammering and I made a bit of an idiot of myself. So there's 2 different perceptions. So get into your mind that you are this wonderful spiritual being and you have all these wonderful aspects. Write them down. Write down things that you need to work upon improving. Now, I hear in my mind here that some people are saying they're too lazy to find real love. Now, it's not really a case of being lazy. You're demotivated, probably due to past experiences. Because what is true love? What is true love? What is real love? I mean, is it about head-turning, mad sexual attraction? Is it about sparks flying? Is it about staying up all night talking, hardly eating anything? I would suggest it's not about that. I would suggest that's wonderful at the start of a relationship. But real love is where you consciously, with your partner, decide to build something beautiful. And the hallmarks of real love are that it's effortless, it's easy, and it's fun. Where you get a lot of hassle, issues, arguments, disagreements, then you know you have to recalibrate that. And you should try to do that. But if you can't, then just gently let it go. Now, I see a lady on here that I know was just proposed to last night, Miss Una Crystal. So many, many congratulations to you, darling. Well done. So I wonder, Una, if you are someone who can prove that this lockdown, this panicdemic as I call it, is no bar to finding real love now. Trust me, I have met wonderful, wonderful, loving, beautiful men during this pandemic. And something that I want to tell you is, okay, we can't date people the same, but it takes out this whole idea of, let me just meet him, let me go for a meal, let me have to try and be in my best behaviour, let me get dressed up, which is quite kind of superficial. Because when you're looking for real love now, when we're pretty much in the house all the time and we're talking online like this, whether it's on Zoom or Skype or whatever, one of the dating apps, you're actually getting to know the individual better in a more informal, less pressured way. And to me, that is great ingredients for finding real love now. You know, window dressing is fine. The restaurants, the dates, the cocktails, the fancy frocks, you know, the flowers are beautiful, all that kind of thing. And that can be the start of real love. But real love is when you know you have a wonderful connection in the mind, the heart, and the body. And that's what I want for all of you. Una, I hope very much you have. I'm sure you have, darling. That's wonderful. I'm just saying congratulations to you. You must show us your ring, darling. Okay, no, I'm not going. They're immediately trying to get me to go into a reading for you. No, Una, I'm bringing myself back. Sorry, darling, let me do that off. I have to stay focused here. Okay, so my point is, you guys, being in lockdown is no barrier to finding real love now, and in some way it's definitely an advantage. You get to the heart of the situation, you see people slobbing about. I don't know about you guys, but I'm dressed about 3 hours a day. And, you know, if I'm talking to people, I've quite often got my dressing gown on, I've got no makeup on, but you're like, hey, this is me. And, you know, to find real love now, you have to be real in yourself. You have to be authentic. There is no point in not being like that, right? There's no point in putting a face on. So let me know your comments so far. I'm just saying congratulations. That is so lovely. All that beautiful energy coming towards you, Miss Una Crystal. I'm so delighted. Let me know what you think of what I've said so far, and let me know in the comments if you've met anyone yet. I'll just need a little drink of water. So good. Karen says you can relate to this. Karen, I know I can sense a bit of fear round about you, darling, round about the relationship front. Let me know if you're a single lady right now, but I know there's a bit of hesitation there, which we can definitely work on and remove that, because I can very clearly see a lovely gentleman in the wings. So if you guys are interested in this topic and you're interested in exploring your spiritual self and finding at the same time real love for you and real love for another, attracting someone who is the same vibe, because of course, when I was in self-loathing mode, I could only attract someone who was in the same vibe. That's why I attracted men who were addicted, men who had mental health issues, men who couldn't support me, men who couldn't grow with me. And that is so important in real love, that the partners grow together and that the partners are willing to grow together. There is massive, massive red flags that we can talk about where you know pretty much before you've got started that you're going to struggle. And this has happened to me so many times in a relationship. And I always like to say, there's not really anything wrong with the two people in the relationship. It's the energy between those two people. So Jane Eyre says, you're better on your own, darling. Well, let me just address that. Sorry, I've got a slight little sniffle here. Nothing serious, because actually some great news. I am actually immune to COVID. Yay! I had an immunity test done. I knew I had it last March. I was like 95% sure. So I'm immune to it. So yeah, go me. So Janie says, Janie McGough, I'm chuckling. It all makes sense, as you know. But what's the but, Janie? Absolutely no buts, darling. Don't hold yourself back. Fiona Louise says, I'm single and what I'm going to look for, balance in my next relationship. That is so important. I'm glad you mentioned balance, Fiona, because remember the 3 things I said? A great connection in the mind and the heart and the body. If you want real love now in a romantic, intimate relationship, those are the 3 areas you really, really want in alignment, or you want balanced. Now, let me tell you something, guys. If Jane Eyre says that she better on your own. Okay, Jane. So I just want to say this. We don't all have to go down the conventional route to find real love now. For many of us, we maybe don't want to share our bedroom with a partner. Maybe we don't even want to share our home with a partner. Maybe we're used to having our own space. That's fine. You can still find real love now and be like that. You don't have to be in each other's pockets to make these things work. There is so many different ways you can run relationships now. And remember, for us people who are mature, compared to our grandparents, we've lived about 10 different lives. We've had different partners, we've had different careers, many of us. We've had children to multiple partners, many of us. Just the whole thing is completely different. Think about your grandmother and grandfather. They got married young, they stayed together all their lives, they worked in the one job, and then they basically retired, and then they died. Life was so much simpler then, and that relationship style was great for then, but it's not always ideal for now. So you can still find real love without living in each other's pockets, and in some ways I like that for me. Louise Graham messaged me, darling, I'm not doing, Louise says she's feeling fear. Listening to what I'm saying about self-love, when you're aware of self-love, if you haven't listened to the beginning, go back. Although we're speaking about finding real love relationships, the first real love relationship you need to have with yourself is with yourself. And you know, when you let your mind and your thoughts control you, that not only ruins your life, but it also can really ruin relationships. Bear in mind that we are not our thoughts, we are not our mind. These things are temporary. The part that's permanent about us is our spiritual self. And Louise and everyone else, that's what we need to focus on. When we start having these negative thoughts, we need to really come in and just be in the now and focus on the presence and just breathe and let these thoughts float away, because your thoughts in your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, right? So bear that in mind. It's exactly the same about relationships. When you meet someone who you have a great connection with, the mind and the heart and the body, and I can hear people asking, what if you have a connection in the mind and the heart? That's fine if you can find real love without sexual intimacy, if that's what you're looking for. But great sex and great sexual intimacy, to me, is such a vital part of a relationship. And this was something that I totally missed out on, again, for many, many decades of my life, because when you feel shit about yourself, when you feel ugly, when you feel unattractive, you just don't feel sexy. And that's all changed for me. Oversharing. But if you guys are interested in what I'm saying and you want to take this further, I am starting a 4-week Find Real Love Now course, a fast transformation course. I'm starting that on the 3rd of March, and I will be advertising it soon. It's priced at $199, and that's not expensive. It's not dirt cheap either, but I only want people to come on it who are interested in finding real love now and don't just want to play. I want people who are committed to finding this and finding the happiness that that brings, because I know that it brings intense happiness, and that's the people that I want to join up and sign up with my course. Okay, so if that's going to appeal to you, I think I posted the link in a comment here. But what was I was rattling on about something there. When I talk about one thing, I go away from another. What does the universe want me to go on about now? Oh yes, acceptance. Okay. So when we get with someone, we need to not pick holes in them. I have done this so many times. Because I loathe myself, I find it easy to find the characteristics in other people that I don't like. But having been in this spiritual journey, I now appreciate people's quirks and I accept that as part of them and I love that as part of them. Okay, now there are boundaries. Abuse is never okay. All right, you can change an abusive partner by changing your energy, but let's leave that to one side just now, okay? And remember, it doesn't matter your sexual orientation, it doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter about your physical looks, your weight, anything else. This advice is good for everybody because finding real love now is about pushing your loving energy towards another and attracting them like magnets. And it's so simple once you grasp these few spiritual principles, and if you allow me to work with the universe on your behalf and you follow these things. Yes, so also often we will, well, this is what I'm saying for someone here. I'm seeing a gentleman who has children, so I do feel that someone here must be having issues around like a step family or a potential step family. But if we want to take on someone with children, we have to embrace those children, even if those children are not embracing of us at first. We have to keep sending them love and asking yourselves, what would love do in this situation? You know, you're the adult, you've got to embrace. Jeanette says, Jeanette here, sometimes when you've been in a long time relationship and find yourself on your own for whatever reason, it's hard to start over again. I know it's all about taking the first step, but sometimes the fear stops you. That's the very thing we've just been talking about, Jeanette. I hope you heard that. Lack of motivation, fear, it's all the same stuff. As you correctly say, it's about fear. But Jeanette, you are so blessed because you had a wonderful partner for so many years and you have totally turned yourself around, which I'm very proud of you about physically. And I don't know whether you're in a relationship just now, but you're such a beautiful girl. And you know when you're high vibe, you will attract the right man into your life. Let me see what anyone else says. Lauren Cunningham, hello darling. I have started to really focus on self-love and it's been a wonderful new experience. Lauren, it's the only way to go. It's the only thing that's going to bring you joy and happiness on planet Earth. Once you start focusing on self-love, and it's very strongly tied in with your spiritual journey, with a spiritual awakening that so many people are going through just now, it brings your level of happiness up. And when your level of happiness comes up and you glow, everybody sees you differently. You suddenly become magnetic and attractive, you know, to both sexes. And then you can do with that what you like. I'm telling everybody who's watching this, you can attract people beyond your wildest dream. I have, when I was dating when I was in Miami one time, okay, oversharing again, but you know I love to do that. I dated this guy and he was like the most handsome guy in the world. He was an American-Italian guy. He was younger than me and he was gorgeous. And I sent a photo of my friend and a photo of him to my friend and she says, is that out of a magazine? I went, hell no. So I sent her a naked photo of him from my bedroom. Yes, I'm sorry, big oversharing. I hope my children aren't watching this. But anyway, and I thought, oh my God, I've just dated the best looking man in the world, potentially. Little old me, who's mature, a grandmother, not a spring chicken, not skinny, you know, who has physical experience of being given birth to 3 big babies, etc., etc. It's all in your energy. It's all in your thoughts. It's all in self-love. Lauren Cunningham and everybody else. Sandra Fletcher saying, what about the heart and body? That's what I said, Sandra. You want a connection in the mind, the heart and the body, and you'll soon know when you're, first of all, you can get the energy from someone just by looking at it. If you just open your heart and your mind, if you just bring your mind down to your heart and just open that and just feel into the energy of someone, you'll soon get a feeling about them. And, you know, your intuition is important. Louise says, sorry, that's what I meant. I'm scared of relating or being out there after so long in isolation. Okay, Louise, let's stamp on that fear, honey. I hope what I've said to you has helped. I need to put these comments up. Margaret says, I am getting better at this and seeing it's not selfish. 100%, Mags, you're such a giver. You know, it's time to receive as well. Jan says, I'd love to find true love. Jan, make it happen, baby girl. If you fancy signing up to my course, my workshop, the 4-week workshop that's starting, I think, the 3rd of March, please do. Lauren, Louise, you're very welcome. Also, I'll be doing some personal consultations about finding love. I have to just work on that a little bit, but you'll get a plan. Now, Anne says, I have now started to love who I am, and this has given me more. Good job, Anne Proven. Anne says, my Nana and Grandad were together 70 years. That was true love. That is amazing. Sandra says, when you find self-love, it's amazing. It is, Sandra, it is. But you know what I want to say? Because we're human, we can still have these little troughs. We have peaks and then we can trough. Sometimes something will take us down out of that self-love, out of that high vibe feeling. But the thing is, don't stay down there. Focus again on your beautiful inner loving self. Look at your list of positive points and just bring yourself up. Marie says, I'm in between that. I want to be that close as in living, but I'm also independent. I love my own space. Yes, Marie, absolutely, honey. And I feel you in that. And I think many, many people agree with you. And, you know, there's practical solutions to that. So, you know, live in a 2-bedroom place, you have a bedroom each, and you can escape to that. Oh, escape's not quite the right word. You can have your own space. Martina says, I can relate to that as well. As soon as I walk through the day with much self-love and feeling good, I seem to attract people meant to talk to me. 100%, Martina. It's all about energy, darling. It's all about energy. Has anyone else got any comments? Anything for me love-wise? Well, we're talking, I hope you're listening to this, Joyce Bruce, because this is all for you, darling. The universe is speaking to everyone who is listening and watching this, and to everyone who will watch it. Jeanette says, thank you, Jane. Yes, I totally agree. You have to love yourself first. I think you're right, that if physically you feel better, then it does make all the difference. It does, honey. But also you have to mentally, emotionally, spiritually feel better. It's a case of opening your heart and letting that special someone into your life. I think though sometimes you feel self-love as being selfish. Yeah, you know, I think so many have been brought up to not big ourselves up, especially in the west coast of Scotland and Ireland. You know, don't big yourself up. No, that's wrong. We should big ourselves up. If we don't big ourselves up, who else is going to do it? You know, I remember my lovely gran, she used to say, look at you with that short skirt on. Who do you think you are? You know, and that goes into your psyche and it stays there. And it's just this thing about cutting you off at the legs, and it's so destructive. Here's my lovely friend Simon. Do the principles you will discuss work for people in a long-term relationship would like to get the love back? Most definitely, Simon, 100%. These principles will work. I've made some videos that I'll start putting out shortly And I wanted to share one with you all today, which was about conscious relationships, but the technology overwhelmed me. And maybe I'll try and post it after this. But it's so important, I think, Simon, everyone else, when you're in a long-term relationship, to fan the flames of real love and not let everyday chores overwhelm you. You know, real love is a special thing. It's a gift. I want to put it into like a golden orb for you, Simon, actually, and put it between my hands. I can feel the energy coming off it. It's just such a beautiful gift, and it should be nourished. And, you know, I do feel, though, we have to love ourselves and we have to respect ourselves. I'm talking to you, Simon, everyone else who's listening. Within a long-term relationship, we cannot be a doormat trying to please the others all the time. So we do have to very much bring that self-love forward for ourselves and still have our boundaries. Very much have our boundaries. Simon, you're a person who does need time to yourself. You're very obliging, very caring person. And I know that you are also, well, I know that you're a medium and a healer. So Simon's Scottish guy, lives in Norway. Jump onto his Facebook page if you want to know anything about him. Him and I studied mediumship at Arthur Findlay College together. We had such a great laugh, didn't we, Simon? Love you, honey. Laura, Jane, lovely to see you. Just listen for a few minutes. I don't get to see it. Well, I'm always here. Margaret, darling, listen to what I'm saying here. Yes, there is someone there for you, most definitely. So does anyone else have any more questions? Fiona says, I've overcome a lot. Let me bring you up, Fiona. I've overcome a lot and have worked hard at removing blocks and illusions that have built up. Looking forward to opening myself to new experiences, including love. 100%. Now, I want to speak to you about blocks, Fiona, and everyone else. Blocks are merely thoughts that we keep thinking. Nothing else can block us but our own thoughts, these troublesome thoughts. So again, Fiona, I want you to focus on your spiritual self. Remember, we only have now, this very minute, the past gone. When we get to the future, we're now in the now. So if you like, the future doesn't arrive. So we've only got now. And I know, Fiona, you have a very, very busy schedule. You need to carve yourself out a little bit of time of an evening, even if it's only half an hour, just to focus on you. And also I can see you doing something with your hair and your makeup. So I feel as if you're really, really going to make an effort. And I feel that this will not be all that challenging for you. I feel as soon as you get the self-love right, and everything will just slot into place for you, darling. Because that's another thing about finding real love now. It shouldn't be stressful. We shouldn't have to search for it. You know, I've used the word find, but a better one is really attract. Because Nando, let me speak to you, darling. My friend Nando, beautiful, beautiful man, very spiritual. Again, you can jump over to his page as well, his Facebook page. And Nando, lovely man, he's open to receive unconditional love. Nando has a very giving, loving heart, but I know that you're in a challenging situation just now, Nando, and we really have to sort that out for you, and then you'll just fly. Everything will just drop into place for you. I have to say that very much to you, darling, and I'm sending such love to your heart, sweetheart. Love you lots. Karen says, hard to love yourself when you've spent years being knocked. Yes, it is. But the thing is about this, Karen, we have to know that's our perspective. We bought into that. That is not truth. That is not truth. So again, that's in the past. So you have to do the things that I've suggested on here. Write down this shopping list of yourself, how many wonderful points you have. Focus on your spiritual self. Let that shine. And don't put yourself don't put a wall around yourself. I can feel this with you, Karen. Don't let the wall come down, and be like Nando says, open to receive unconditional love. But do remember, guys, when you're with a human being, it's unconditional love is unlikely, right? Unconditional love comes from dogs. That's about that. That's about all it comes from this time on planet. When we're in a human body, you're not going to get unconditional love, because everyone comes with their own perspectives, their own ideas, their own experiences. So what we want to do, as I mentioned earlier, is to accept everyone, including their quirks, including their experience, including their conditioning. I believe there's a level where we say that behaviour, those thought patterns are acceptable, and they're not. And if they're not, then you don't proceed with the relationship. Linda Jane, my lovely friend, I'm wondering where you had gone to. The man I thought had come to sweep me off my feet, an old and dear friend, is adamant he needs to sort out his family first, as he's just come out of a toxic relationship and took a big step back. Well, Linda Jane, I was talking about someone, a man with children earlier, so if you were listening there, that may have been for you. But also, I want to pay attention to your words. The man I thought who'd come to sweep me off my feet. Now, when you're swept off your feet, that's delicious, but that is not real love, okay? Real love lasts. Real love persists. Real love makes you feel warm inside. Real love has excitement, but also it has more fallow times, but you know that connection is always there. So, you know, there's red flags. I wanted to talk to you about red flags, but I'm going to talk more about that in the 4-week workshop starting the 3rd of March. And, you know, you're all going to get a personal plan from the universe, how to take yourself forward. So, Linda Jane, focus on yourself, darling. You're doing wonderful work. Your energy's fabulous. He is taking a big step back. That's all you need to know. You are a very, very special woman, a very, very special being. You do not need someone in your life who doesn't know where they want to be with you or not. That is a massive red flag to me. So I would bless that person with love and just let them go. If they come back around and they're sorted and they're wanting to make a go of it with you, fine. If not, there is no shortage of men. This is another thing. There's no shortage of men or women on this planet. That is a self-defeating belief that we tell ourselves, oh, I'm getting older. Oh, there's more women than men. Oh, I'll never find someone. Stop that dangerous negative self-talk. This is everyone I'm speaking to. It's so easy to attract men. You know, it's not difficult at all. It's easy, and I'm going to talk a lot more about my experiences when we're in a private situation, because obviously this is public, but I'll tell you a lot more about the things that I've discovered. And we're also going to talk about a very important aspect of real love, which is sexual intimacy. And you know, real sex is actually, it's a spiritual act, it's a spiritual connection. And if it doesn't feel like that for you, then it is likely that you're not experiencing real love. Sending you lots of love, Linda Jane. Nando, I've answered your question before I see it, darling. Marie, I do the I'm getting older thing, not much time left. I know, Marie. Self-defeating talk. So that's ridiculous, because I guarantee I'm older than you, probably significantly older than you. And trust me, it is not an issue whatsoever. It's not an issue. It's just not an issue. It's only an issue. It becomes a block if you believe it's an issue. This self-talk is so freaking important. And I can see from your photo, you're gorgeous. I mean, I don't see your picture well, but you look young and beautiful to me. Fiona Louise, I am starting to take care of myself. I bought a mirror, new lipstick too. I know, I could see you. Your hair's gorgeous. You've got eyelashes on. You're looking great. So people are asking me for messages, but we're not really doing messages so much today. The universe, I'm translating the universal energy for everyone who's watching rather than specific messages, although some people are getting kind of honed in on. But what we're talking is about how to feel, how to find, how to attract real love now. Even though we're in lockdown, it doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference. Trust me on this. In the course, I will tell you, those who want to join up, I will tell you exactly what's happened to me. I don't want to really share it on a public platform, but it's pretty incredible. Janie, kiss, 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 says heart, heart, heart. Okay, so you get the main aspects of what we want to talk about here and what we'll be going over it in the course. It's 4 weeks. We'll be covering 8 different topics. We'll have you loving yourself. We will have you using practices to easily attract a man or a woman or a part. Doesn't matter whether you're straight or gay or bi. I don't care. The same principles work for everybody. I don't care if you're 70 or 17. The same principles work for everybody. And Linda Jane, you are so loving. There is the most wonderful man is there for you. So do remember that. Marie says, I'm 41 this year. I always said I'd love to be settled down with someone before 40. So my 40th hit, it was super depressing. Yes, okay, I feel you on that. I had my last baby at 39. Marie, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. And then I divorced my husband, the father of that child, about 4 years ago now. So you can do the math in that, and you will know that I'm considerably older than you. But believe me, there is no shortage of men. You have put a time scale on attracting a partner, and that puts stress on you. And stress is a thing that lowers your vibration. So let's say that the time scale doesn't matter. It's far more important to attract the right partner than worry about time scales. Do you think, Marie, about coming on this workshop with me or having a personal consultation? Linda Jane, I know nurturing myself and my own family is all there is to do, particularly yourself, darling. You're one of life's givers. I have so much love and affection for you, and you deserve the best. That's another thing we need to remember. We deserve the best. We are a gift. Partners that come into our life should be grateful that we have them in our life. It's not the other way around. And I was so bad for this. I was so grateful, so thankful when a partner came into my life, even if we're an addict, an alcoholic, or a gambler, because I had no self-love. I laugh at it now, but I mean, it wasn't not funny because I put myself through decades of serious unhappiness, mental and physical ill health. I mean, it's thank God I can laugh at it, but when you're going through it, it's literally hell on earth, hell on earth. And neither would I rely on anyone to make me happy. It's so important to find your own happiness, and then you attract a partner effortlessly. Nando says, I let it go. My ex-wife and everything asks that, don't bother. There's my highest great good anymore. I suffered. I went through so much with her. Love is a blessing from God. Believe that you deserve to love and to be loved just the way you are. 100%, Nando. I'm quite sure with your ex-wife that there were many, many red flags and many insurmountable hills, I want to say, that just meant that your relationship was not going to work. You just weren't on the same vibration. You just weren't. And you know, if one person in the partnership grows or has spiritual awakenings and the other person doesn't, that can leave a huge wide chasm. And sometimes it can't be got over. It can't be crossed. And what happens then is that generally there will be a physical separation. But remember, the spirit of your ex-wife, or the real part of your ex-wife or anybody else's ex-partner is love, even if we can't see that focused in their human self. Their true self is love. Our true self is love. And when we return to the non-physical realms, that will be totally seeable, totally recognised to all of us, and all the stress and hassle we had in the human condition will fall away, because Nando, you and your lovely wife had your gorgeous boy. What a blessing to planet Earth. So yeah, stay happy. Hello to a lovely viewer from YouTube. I think you're my first YouTube viewer on. All my other viewers are Facebook. So lovely to speak to you all. But any last questions, do ask them. And then I am going to just say bye-bye to you. And I'm going to post the video that I wanted to post earlier. And it's about having conscious relationships, which is definitely part of finding real love now. It's about getting straight in your mind what you want, your intentions, and for your partner to have the same thing, so you can come together and like make a plan with lots of fun in, obviously. So I don't see any more comments, so I want to give you all a big kiss and say thank you so much for joining me today. And please look out for more of these broadcasts about finding real love now. And please look out for the workshop, which will be coming soon. Love you all so much. You deserve to be loved. Never forget that. Bye for now.